Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes, tamu sana. If you look at Sunday Nation today, it captures a very interesting story. A story on how Raila Odinga will pick his running mate in this year's presidential election. So in this video, I want us to have a look at that story, for it's going to form the basis of our analysis and discussion right now. How Raila will choose Azimio running mate. And then we are being told down there, coalition picks committee made up of politicians and technocrats that will scrutinize the candidates being proposed to deputize former PM as MPs allied to Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka insist he is best suited for the role, plus what the team is looking for in a candidate. Yes, that's Sunday Nation today. And if you go through that story, it's just highlighting in details the criteria that Azimio are going to use in coming up with Raila Amolo Odinga's running mate in this year's presidential election. So in this video, I want us to dig deep to see exactly what is happening in Azimio as far as Raila's running mate is concerned and what that portends for Raila Ruto's bids in this year's presidential election. In case you've bumped here for the very first time, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. Thank you, God bless you. Yes, from that story, we are being told that Azimio has come up with a 5-member committee, or rather a 5-member team, composed of Head of Public Service, Joseph Kinyua, Raphael Tuju, Jeremiah Kioni, Jubilee Secretary General, Professor Makao Mutua, and a nominee from Wiper Party. Those are the 5, that is the team that is going to come up with Raila's running mate. And then the team is going to be assisted by 2 aides from Professor Mutai Ngunyi's office. And besides that, there are some conditions and criteria this team is to follow. First of all, this team is to commission an opinion poll to pick the most preferred running mate to Raila Amolo Odinga. That is first thing the team has been tasked with. And then secondly, the team is to come up with a candidate who is widely accepted across all the 26 parties forming Azimio. That is the second criteria. And then thirdly, it's also believed that the president is very keen on a candidate who is less polarizing. Yes, those are the 3 criteria that has been said. And the funny thing about it, the mere fact that the team is to be assisted by Professor Mutai Ngunyi's team is also raising some suspicion and some eyebrows, because the professor is on record on who he prefers as Raila Odinga's running mate. So in this video, I want us to dissect all that to see exactly what is happening in Azimio and the political implication of that move on Raila's bid and on also William Ruto's bid. That's what I want us to find out here. Yes. After the team has fulfilled all those conditions and they have found the most preferred running mate for Raila Amolo Odinga, the team will present its findings to the Azimio Council chaired by President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, a council that will now nominate or pick Raila's running mate. That's exactly what is happening as far as that committee is concerned. But if you look at those conditions set, then you can clearly see exactly that the race, or rather Raila's running mate race, is now being reduced to a 3-person contest. That is Martha Karua, Peter Kenneth, and Kalonzo Musyoka. And I'm saying that because before Kalonzo Musyoka and Martha Karua joined Azimio, the race was widely being seen to be between Peter Munya and also Peter Kenneth. But IEBC yesterday actually just clarified that the mere fact that Peter Munya, in this case, never resigned on 9th of February, that disqualifies Peter Munya from being in the race. Because for you to be a presidential candidate or a running mate, you ought to have resigned by 9th of February. Peter Munya never resigned. So that technically disqualifies Peter Munya from deputizing Raila Molo Odinga. So the race is reduced to Martha Karua, Peter Kenneth, and Kalonzo Musyoka. So let's just do some kind of elimination to find who is the most likely candidate that this team will come up with. The first criteria, we are being told that the team is to commission an opinion poll to find out the most preferred running mate for Raila Molo Odinga. If you look at Martha Karua, Peter Kenneth, and Kalonzo Musyoka, in fact, from the previous opinion polls, Peter Kenneth has actually been ranking the highest as far as Raila's running mate is concerned. And something still tells me that even if an opinion poll was to be done today, Peter Kenneth will still most likely emerge as the preferred candidate for Raila Molo Odinga. And I'm saying that because Martha Karua just joined the team recently, same to Kalonzo Musyoka. So a good majority of Raila supporters across the country still sees or views Peter Kenneth as the most preferred candidate. And you know, Peter Kenneth, Raila has also been giving some very clear signals that he prefers Peter Kenneth. He has actually been going around with Peter Kenneth in some of his rallies. So if an opinion poll is to be commissioned on the most popular candidate to deputize Raila Molo Odinga, I'm seeing Peter Kenneth beating Martha Karua and also beating Kalonzo Musyoka. And then on the second criteria, that they are to find a candidate who is widely accepted by all the 26, or rather across all the 26 political parties forming Azimio. I'm also seeing Peter Kenneth beating Martha Karua and also beating Kalonzo Musyoka. Because these 26 parties, in one way or the other, it's widely believed that it might be true that they are holding briefs for President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Molo Odinga. And Raila has already shown some strong indications that he prefers Peter Kenneth. So I just believe that all these 26 parties, or a majority of them, will still prefer Peter Kenneth more than Martha Karua or Kalonzo Musyoka. So again there I see Peter Kenneth beating Martha Karua and also beating Kalonzo Musyoka on that second criteria. And then if you go to the third criteria, that a candidate who is also less polarizing, look at Kalonzo Musyoka, look at Martha Karua, and then look at Peter Kenneth. Kalonzo just recently said he's looking for numbers so that in the event Raila betrays him after the election, then he will just easily impeach Raila Molo Odinga. That was Kalonzo Musyoka. Even though it was on a lighter note, that actually speaks volumes. It shows that actually Kalonzo might be a polarizing running mate to Raila Molo Odinga. We might just see that upon Raila winning the presidency, with Kalonzo as his running mate, Kalonzo might start immediate campaigns after maybe Raila shall have been sworn. Something we saw with the case of William Ruto. And Kalonzo Musyoka is on record stating that he'll do exactly what William Ruto did. William Ruto started campaigns immediately after Uhuru Kenyatta was sworn in for his second term. So on that third criteria, I tend to believe Kalonzo Musyoka might be seen as a polarizing running mate to Raila Molo Odinga. And then if you look at Martha Karua is known as the Iron Lady. Martha Karua is somehow being seen as tough-headed. And we still remember in 2007, post-election violence, Martha Karua was being seen as the man on the side of Mwai Kibaki in 2007, while William Ruto was being seen to be the antagonist again on the side of Raila Amolo Odinga. So in 2007, Martha Karua was seen as the antagonist on Kibaki's side, William Ruto as the antagonist on Raila Amolo Odinga's side. So I also believe that even from Martha Karua's behavior and demeanor, she can easily pass out as a polarizing running mate to Raila Amolo Odinga. And then now look at Peter Kenneth. Peter Kenneth is coming out as a very loyal, a leader who is not prone to controversy. So again, the third criteria in my considered opinion favors Peter Kenneth. So from all those criteria said and those conditions, if they are to be followed to the letter, then most definitely Peter Kenneth is going to be picked as Raila Odinga's running mate in this year's presidential election. And I know Martha Karua has no problem with Peter Kenneth being picked because Martha Karua is not giving any conditions that it has to be her. But on the side of Kalonzo Musyoka, Kalonzo's Wiper Party and even Kalonzo himself insists that he has to be Raila's running mate. And even up to today, right now, just some few hours ago when I'm talking, Makueni Member of Parliament Daniel Manzo, or rather Makueni MP Daniel Manzo actually threatened that in the event Kalonzo Musyoka is not picked as Raila's running mate, then they might actually decide as Ukambani region to boycott elections in this year's 2022. Yes, that is the threat, the latest threat by Wiper Party, Kalonzo Musyoka's allies. So I'm seeing a likely possibility where Kalonzo Musyoka might actually make real that threat. Or maybe Kalonzo Musyoka might actually weigh his options to see that that threat might not be as effective, might not be effective even if maybe they were to enforce that kind of a threat. And what does that portend or mean for Raila's bid and William Ruto's bid in this year, assuming Peter Kenneth is picked as Raila's running mate, and then Kalonzo goes on and maybe incites his Ukambani region to boycott the elections? I'm seeing some things here coming out very clearly. If Kalonzo actually incites his Ukambani backyard to boycott this year's presidential election, then that boycott won't be all that effective. And it might actually end up destroying Kalonzo's political career. And I'm saying that because already Kalonzo, in fact, even before Kalonzo threw his weight behind Raila Amolo Odinga, already stated clearly that he will be stupid to support Raila Amolo Odinga for the third time without a measure of reciprocity. He went on through his weight behind Raila Amolo Odinga. And now for Kalonzo to turn back again, after now that duration of maybe shifting allegiance and shifting parties now closed, that will show or depict Kalonzo as a very indecisive leader. A leader who is totally confused. And that can make the good people of Ukambani to reject Kalonzo Musyoka. And in fact, in the election, the three Ukambani governors, that's Ngilu, Mutua, and Kivuza Kibwana, I'm seeing them now playing a very active role in campaigning for Raila Amolo Odinga. And then the mere fact that Raila most likely can go on to win the election, it will actually leverage these three Ukambani as the real now king leaders in Ukambani. That might be the end of Kalonzo's political career in Ukambani. So it won't be a very wise decision on the side of Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo must now accept the reality as it is. If he is not the running mate, or whether he is the running mate, he should actually campaign aggressively for Raila Amolo Odinga and let him look at the bigger picture, not only in 2022. So the best thing, I don't think that will be the best decision by Kalonzo Musyoka. And then again on the political implication on Raila and Ruto, assuming Peter Kenneth is picked, I'm seeing William Ruto going to find it very hard on the mountain. I'm seeing the mountain going to be reduced into a battleground. Because if you look at Peter Kenneth is nationally accepted. Look at the side of William Ruto. There is no serious leader who is being seen to be national on the side of William Ruto. In this side of Azimio, Peter Kenneth is more national than any other leader from the mountain actually rotating around William Ruto. So I'm seeing if Peter Kenneth is picked as Raila's running mate, the mountain is going to be reduced into a battleground. And I won't be wrong to conclude that Raila Odinga might even eventually win the mountain vote. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, let me stop it there for today. In case you've bumped here for the very first time, and so far you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. Thank you, God bless you, God bless Kenya.